What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Behind the Booth. Today we have a friend of the show. He's back. He goes by the name of...
What's good? It's Marty Rock.
Easy. If you guys haven't seen, right up here, we just did a hip-hop mix, and also we did a reggaeton mix, so if you guys haven't seen, check that out. Fire, sunlight, you know what I'm saying? So don't forget...
It's also hot as hell.
Yo, we're sweating right now. We had to turn off the fan because it's definitely hot. It's midsummer right now, but hopefully you guys enjoy those summer mixes. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that. Marty Rock, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us behind the booth. We outside with it.
Thank you for having me, bro. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. This is our second time running back a mix.
Word.
A lot of fun.
Mad fun,
bro. Yeah, for real. I always like to start with my guests, like, how did you get into DJing? Like, walk us back how you got it started.
Well, my father was in prison for most of my I guess early years. Mm-hmm. So I got left with his like tapes and his records, and I feel like that was like a scrapbook or like a letter to his life. Like that's kind of how I met my father, through stuff like that. So music has always surrounded me. I mean, as cliche it is, every DJ says this, but it literally has. My mother, I grew up in the church. My mother was a lady of faith. I played drums in church. I learned how to, just pretty much play music in church, by ear, like everybody else does. And then throughout high school, middle school, I learned how to read music. I was a percussionist. And then when I was finally able to fend for myself, I was able to buy myself DJ equipment, and I was like, let's try this. My brother was in the military, and he had a CD mixer, like a Newmark one, because he's like, they get mad money when they come out of boot camp. Yeah. He lived at home. He was just. Yeah. He had that FU money, you know what I mean? So he was like, he invested in like speakers and, just to make a few bucks. He never did because he ended up just hooking up with some chick and forgetting about the music at the party. So I would play with it, pause, when he was, stationed. Yeah. Wherever he was stationed, when he was away, I'd break into his room and I'd try to mix two songs together. I'd burn CDs on my Gateway computer. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Gateway. I haven't heard of. Oh my God. Yeah, so that's kind of like how I really got my foot in the door. And then, when I was like, I want to say like 2021, I bought my 57 with turntables and my MacBook, and I was able to get into it, and we're here.
The rest is history.
Wow.
From tapes.
That's like the short version.
That's the great version. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just seeing how your journey from starting on tapes and even wanting to, your brother had an interest as well.
Right.
And so music's been in your family.
Right.
And then playing percussion and playing drums. You play drum set in church?
I played the drums in church, and then that went on to me playing snare in the marching band.
Nice.
I played 3 years. Yeah, but the high school I went to, it wasn't geeky to be in the band. Like the band was like, we won, we were nasty. Yeah. Like the girls were cute in the band or whatever. And then I also wrestled, but like wrestling the music took a back seat because I had to get to college. You feel me? Yeah, so and then wrestling, I started doing that all year round. So I eventually quit the band, but it was always love,
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah.
And then from there, how did you get into did you start doing private parties first, and then you would transition into nightlife, or did you just go straight?
Nah, I went right into nightlife.
Really?
I've always loved going out and meeting people. I mean, I threw the best parties in high school. Wow. You know what I mean? So like, to me, just it was kind of like a second nature just to go out and network. Like I was networking and not even knowing it. You know what I mean? So like, when I met like I would go to the DJ or whatever, and I'd be like, yo, who does the bookings or whatever, and little by little, I became a resident. My first residency in Jersey, like my first official residency in Jersey, was at this spot called Patria in Rahway.
I think it's still around. I think.
No, it burnt down.
Okay, I remember.
They had sold it and then it burnt down.
Okay.
Shout out to Mike Tiggs, by the way.
Oh, damn.
Yo, and I was terrible. Like I was terrible. But shout out to my mans Chino and Nacio. They gave me music. They taught me like how to open, like briefly. Also my man Infamous too. He taught me how to open. And then like eventually Infamous was throwing me on at Mr. East to open when they had that big Friday night party. And then eventually like I saw where it was going, like my talent was elevating, and like they were still booking the same headliners. You know, like I could never just be an opener, like be more than an opener, right? Yeah. So my cousin worked in the city, and I was like, yeah, I want to take my shot. Like I want to try. I never asked my cousin for nothing. He was one of the biggest promoters in the city for like 25 years. Wow. And I never asked him for nothing. And then one day I was like, yo, I open for free. Like, it's my birthday. I'll bring people. Like, because I always kind of knew what the game was in the city. Mm-hmm. So I was like, yo, I'll bring people. Let me open. I'll do it for free. Yeah, I did it and I flopped. I actually was opening for Rick Wonder at the spot called Highline Ballroom. And, you know, I went there and I didn't do my research. I didn't do my homework, and shame on me. But that was the last time that ever happened to me. You know, I got taken off early. The doors opened in New York at 11. I started DJing at 10:30. By 11:30, I was off. Shout to Joe Messina. Now I'm one of his favorite DJs. I love you, Joe. But yeah, you know, you live and you learn. There's a lot in this game that could defeat you, and it'll knock you down if you don't have a strong foundation. You know what I mean? And tough skin. But you know, I fell in love with the city, with the nightlife, with the nightlife in the city, and I never looked back. Wow. I never looked back, you know, and now we headline the biggest venues in Jersey.
Biggest venues, bro. Biggest venues all over.
Yeah,
and, like,
God is good.
God is great. And you mentioned something about opening up. What qualifies as a good opener? Like, when you see like a good opener, because I know a lot of that art is kind of lost of like, what would you say, in Marty Rock's opinion, is a good opener? Or some keys or some formulas to opening up a room well? I
mean, I can't really talk about anybody else.
How would you open
I know when I opened up, it's about much more than music now, opening. Like, you know, when I opened up, it was weird because a lot of the records that are like primetime records now were like opening records for me. Like Loyal or... Actually, I'm sorry, Loyal was a primetime record, but like Dancing Queen, that was an opening record. Yeah. Depending on what room you were in, you know what I mean? Just a lot of those records were opening records. So like me, I've always like took pride in keeping my opening crate updated, you know, because there's so much music that comes out, especially now with the DSPs and stuff like that. A lot of those records aren't primetime records.
That's very true.
You know what I mean? A perfect example of that was Gotta Move On, No Diddy, when it came out. Yes. It was a great record before this whole Diddy mess. It was a great record, but it wasn't a primetime record. You know what I mean? So what did I do? I added that to my opening list, to my opening crate, you know? Because if the staff pays attention, you know, it's the same staff every week, you know, whatever. They're going to pay attention. Oh, Marty Rock comes in here, he plays the same set every week. You can't do that. You know what I mean? There's tons of Afrobeat records that are phenomenal, but they're not primetime records.
That's so
You know what I mean? Thames is phenomenal. And I mean, you could probably play that in a hood party, primetime, but in like a bottle service club, it's not a primetime record. You know what I mean? Those are amazing records that you could play during your opening set, and it's not old, it's not dated, you know, it's up to date, but it's just vibey. You know what I mean? Also, I would respect any headliner, you know. At first I would be like, why not me, why not me, why not me, who is this guy, who is this girl? But it came to the point where I was like, yo, that negative energy is reflecting in my performance, and I'm being very nasty to this person when they come in. Wow. You know, so you never know what this person could do for you.
That's very true.
Even if you don't even ask them. That's, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you know, so I started introducing myself, you know, letting headliners know, hey, listen, I haven't played nothing yet. You know, I saved you all the hits. If you like, you could go through my history just to see kind of like what throwback records I played or whatever, you know, stuff like that. Hey, would you like a drink? Hey, or if you leave, if you're not going to stay to close, hey, this is so-and-so, this is your waitress. Whatever you need, hit her up, bong, whatever, you know, stuff like that. Hey, you know, would you like a hookah or whatever? If they have hookah, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. I mean, it's definitely not ass kissing or brown nosing, you know what I mean? But again, that's your home. You have to look at it like you're hosting somebody in your home. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like when somebody comes visit you at your crib, you're gonna offer them, you know, water, anything to drink. You're gonna show them where the bathroom is. You know what I mean? So you have to look at it the same way. I mean, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want, but this is to me what a good opener is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Like, because I was such a good opener for so many years, you know, like, I've had people like hit me up from DJs from Miami, DJs from Vegas, DJs from LA, DJs from Tokyo. They'll hit me up and be like, listen, this isn't really worth it for me to fly in. This is a client. I think you can handle this room. Or I think you can handle this party. Take that $2,500 check. Take that $2,000 check. Take that $1,000 check. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like, this is all from being a good opener. Wow. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And this is before any Tokyo tours, any Atlantic City residency. You know what I mean? This is just off of me doing my job. Wow. You know what I mean? Wow. Like, and it's just, don't be a dickhead. You know what I mean? Like, your entitlement is gonna get you nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not. So you really gotta check that ego if you want to take this. If you want to take this career seriously, an opener, bro, opening can lead to so many things, bro. And I don't understand why people are like want to skip that step, yo. You know what I mean? People want to skip that step, bro, so much. And everybody's like, oh, well, your crates are deep. You know, your crates are deep. You can handle any crowd. Yes, because I opened for so many years. Yeah. I opened for the best DJs in the world. Yeah. Not the tri-state, the world, for so many years that I had to figure out, wow, they played everything. What am I going to play to keep these people here till 4 a.m? Wow. What, like, you know what I mean? So, like, I had to look up soca, look up dancehall records, look up Indian records, look up Albanian records, look up Israeli records. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like,
you did your homework,
right? So that's why, like, when everybody's like, "What can't you play?" and it's like, I really can't. Like, I could really play anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, this is why, like, opening is so important, bro. Like, I hate that people want to skip the step. Like, I really do, because you're only hurting yourself. You know what I mean?
That's so true. And then, do they, like, sometimes I see it like, you have your opener and your headline and you crush it. How do you feel about the art of closing? You know, if, say, like, there's 3 DJs and then one's the closer for the night.
Honestly, the closing is the easiest part. They're already drunk. Yeah. They're already past prime time. Yeah. You know what I mean? At that point, you can pretty much play whatever you want. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is why I tell, you know, openers, because a lot of time the same opener is closing. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's kind of dumb to book a closer, because the closer is probably just getting there. Yeah. When the headliner's coming off, so he's not probably 95% gonna repeat the same records the headliner played. You know what I mean? As opposed to when the opener stays there, if they're sober, they see, okay, there's always gonna be a hit you miss. Yeah. There's always gonna be a hit you miss. Yep. I don't care. I think my headlining sets sometimes are 90 minutes tops. You know, that's not a lot of time. That is a lot of time. There's so much music. Yeah. You know, there's so much music. And like 9 times out of 10, you got to reset the room because the opener was very aggressive, or, you know what I mean? Or the opener didn't know how to open. So you have to reset the room. And 9 times out of 10, you're playing older records when you're resetting the room. Yeah. You know, the Rihannas, the Neos, the Pitbulls, you know, the stuff like that is like really records to get the room going, which are the obvious stupid sing-along records. But it works. But that's kind of where you hit, that's kind of your easy button where you hit the reset. Because again, the opener didn't do his job. You know what I mean? Once you have a good opener, bang, it's a pedal to the metal. Yeah. You know? And that's why I excel, because here's the room. When the headliner walked in, it's like, here's the room. And a professional headliner usually shows up an hour before, 30 minutes to an hour before. Scope out the scene, see what's going on, so you get the feel for the room. Exactly. You know, especially if they've never been there before. Right. You know, and just seeing you navigate through New York City nightlife and everything. Now you're playing on the radio. Congratulations on that, man. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Shout to the boys, Pitbull. Yeah, man. Dolly. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was that like when you got the call or got the text, or like saying like you're gonna be a weekly resident on there? Well, the PD, the program director, is this really amazing guy. His name is DJ Phenom, Edwin. He also happens to own DJ City. He's one of the owners of DJ City. I've known him for years. I've known him for like over 10 years. And he was, you know, he hit me up. He's like, listen, we got some room on the roster. We want a New York guy who's not really, you know, played out and is on FM radio. Like, he's not really a radio guy. We want some new blood. He's like, I really can't think of anybody but you. You know what I mean? So at first, like, it kind of didn't really like hit me that I was gonna be playing globally. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, not a lot of people have Sirius, but I really didn't like realize how many people have Sirius.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was just like, it didn't really hit me at first. I was like, oh, I gotta do this every week. You know what I mean? But like, after doing it for a few weeks, I'm getting DMs. Like, I'm getting like a bunch of followers on Mixcloud and SoundCloud, and I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. Like, my network here is crazy. I mean, so it's amazing to be. I opened for Pitbull a couple times. You know what I mean? So I kind of been in his radar. But to be able to join such an amazing family of globally renowned DJs, it's really an honor. And it's, you know, like I said, God is great, man. Like, you know, it's just do your due diligence, man, and everything will fall into place, you know.
I love that.
And believe me, it's so annoying when you gotta work so hard, and so many people close doors on your face, and, you know, you just gotta be persistent. And there's gonna be times, and believe me, the devil's a liar, man. He's gonna try you, you know.
100%.
And, you know, with faith and hard work and just honesty, you could take over the world.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Literally, sky's the limit.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been watching even as, I think it was like 2021 or maybe it was late 2020 when you got signed to an agency. For people who don't know about agencies, what does an agency do for like the artists and everything? Or, yeah, actually, what does the agency do?
Your agency pretty much, first off, your agency doesn't make you. You have to already be. Understand? When you get to the point where you're like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. You know, I need somebody to manage my calendar. You know, send invoices. Manage. You know, hit up the people that owe me money. You know what I mean? That's what your agent is there for. Obviously, they charge a percentage, which they're 100% entitled to, because that job is not easy.
Yeah.
Do you get put into different rooms and new conversations? Yes. Does that guarantee you in those rooms and those conversations? No. You know what I mean? So a lot of people think that a lot of people confuse agencies with crews. It's not the same thing. You know what I mean? I mean, even when you become a heavy hitter, that doesn't mean that you're gonna be.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking totally hypothetical.
No, you're right.
Even when you become a heavy hitter, that doesn't mean that you're gonna automatically have your own slot on Hot 97.
That's very true.
You know what I mean? It's the same thing with an agency. You know, so it's like, yeah, it gives you that peace of mind, but you still gotta hustle. You still gotta get yourself in these rooms, and it just comes, you know. Then it just makes it a little easier when you want to ask for a little more. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the agent will be like, hey, you know, whatever. This is what Julz's rate is. You know, he does very good in these rooms, that room, whatever. Does that in the third. And then at that point, you know, you have an agency, but, you know. Something very important that people don't realize is the more money you make as a DJ, the longer you have to wait for it. You know what I mean? It's not like a lot of these buyers are corporate entities. You know what I mean? Yes. So they cut checks. First to the 15th, net 30, net 45, net 90, whatever the case may be. So you really have to be on your P's and Q's and, you know, have your money stacked, because this isn't a 9 to 5. You don't get paid every 2 weeks. You don't get paid bi-weekly. You know what I mean? So it's like that's really something I wish I would have known before I got into this market. I mean, there's markets that will pay you the cash at the end of the night, which is dope. That's amazing. That's phenomenal. More power to you. But it's usually not. It's not a lot of money.
It's usually not. It's not at the rate at which you would be doing for a high-end corporate.
Correct.
You know.
I mean, it's usually like $200-$300 or which, hey, that's still a lot of money, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you do 2 gigs, you do 3 gigs at $200, $600 a week.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
That's a lot of people work very hard for $600 a week. You know what I mean? So like, again, there's nothing wrong with those bar gigs. Please don't think that I'm bashing those gigs at all. And, you know, I'm so grateful for the gigs that I do have. You know what I mean? But it's very trying when you have to wait for that money.
Talk about it. You know, and see, like, we've seen you navigating from the start, see you navigating through nightlife, radio, agency, and then I know you have a big weekend coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, by the time this airs, you would already have done R&B and Ribs.
Right.
But how are you feeling about? This your first time playing in San Fran?
This is my very first time playing in San Francisco. This is my first time even going to San Francisco. You know, I didn't grow up very fortunate. I didn't travel. I actually never traveled at all. I barely traveled but it was just New York and New Jersey. That's it. You know what I mean? It was either the Bronx, Staten Island, Brooklyn, you know, the boroughs, or Jersey. You know what I mean? So we didn't really do much. I'm not, you know, really well traveled, but I'm super excited. You know, it's a little intimidating because those Bay Area DJs are serious. You know, it's the home of Cupid, bro. You know what I mean? So it's like they wrote the book. You know,
very serious.
And it's Cupid, Mixmaster Mike, all those guys. You know, and it's very intimidating. You know, shout out to Jay Espinoza, Miles Medina. Like, they have, I would say, probably the world's best DJs in the Bay Area. Like, this isn't an East and West thing. Like, I'm just calling a spade a spade. Facts. You know what I mean? Facts. So it's like, you know, but I still got that New York flavor.
100%.
You know what I mean? So 100%. It's like, I consider myself a very technical DJ. You know what I mean? So like, as far as New York comes,
yes.
I'm definitely not like San Francisco technical. Like, I'm not lazy boy. You know what I mean? Like,
but you do your thing and you make it your own.
I put a little adobo on it. You feel me?
A little sazon,
a little sofrito. You feel me?
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, I mean, I'm a little nervous. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm human. I breathe air. You know what I mean? But I'm nervous with excitement. You know what I mean? So, you know, shout out to Nopa Slaps. He made one of the best parties in the country, bro. You know what I mean?
People
actually, it's actually the world, because I mean, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but they're talking about taking that to Tokyo as well. So It's like, you feel me? So it's like the world has their eyes on you. You know what I mean?
It's a party that people are like, oh man, if we're in San Fran or if they're in Texas, wherever they like, let's go to this party.
Yeah.
Like, the concept is so dope.
Yeah, it's ill.
So dope.
It's
like,
very ill.
You know, who doesn't like to eat, and then who doesn't like good music, and then everyone, when you look at all the crowds, people just want to have a good time.
Yeah,
that's
a fact.
That's the vibe of that.
That's a fact, and I love that about that party. You know, I love to have a good time too.
Bro, excited to see some clips.
Yeah, and you know what it is? Like, everybody's like, oh, well, what are you gonna play? And I really don't know. I mean, I'm not the first DJ to play that day. You know what I mean? So it's like, I've never been in the room. You know what I mean? Like, I personally, and this isn't a shot to any DJs, I just don't know how people can prepare for a crowd that they've never met.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. You can have an idea, you know.
I guess
you can have a little.
I have so much like flying through my head right now. I'm just like, I could go here, I could go there, I could go this BPM, I go that BPM, I go slow jams. You know what I mean? And it's like,
feed off that crowd.
But again, this goes back to me being an opener, bro. I'm like, I need to read the room.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because like, I know for a fact, like, nobody's gonna want to hear me do a Bay Area set because I don't know nothing about the Bay. You know what I mean? But what I do know is my 5 boroughs, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? New York is a melting pot of the world.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I can show love to the Filipinos. I got a Filipino bag. I got a Mexican bag. You know what I mean? I got a Colombian bag. You know what I mean? So it's like the area is very Filipino heavy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I hate when people ask me, like, what are you going to play? I don't know what I'm going to play. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't. I be like, yo, music.
Make some noise for me right now. Can I party a little bit? I just got off the motherfucking plane. Can I party a little bit? Let's get this party started. Here we go. I go by the name of Marty Rock. I represent New York City, baby. Here we go. Ladies, I need you to throw that ass. I don't care if you born it or you was born with it. Throw that shit.
That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I
I really don't. And again, no shout to people that, you know, I mean, bro, if you could walk in and you already know like what's gonna get them, woo, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
I wish I had the answers to the test. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm the type of dude that I never really studied. I always crammed. You know what I mean? So,
when I saw your crates, and I'm like, oh man, this is so organized. Like,
yeah, I mean,
I envy that you don't have crate. Like I have to keep scrolling.
Oh, I'm dying for a crate search.
Oh, bro, bro, I saw your tweets. Bro, when I was at Serato in LA last year, I asked him, I was like, so what's up with this? Like, I was like, I even tweeted you guys. Like,
so how do you do it?
So I'll make a crate and then sub crate. So say like I have a hip hop crate and then I'll just have like the years, whatever, something like that.
Okay.
But this has been from since scratch live. Okay. So then this is just been a build on, and then sometimes you might have a party you like, and you realize like, whoa, I have too many crates. Okay. So now I've been reorganizing. My goal is to like envy
like you make a crate for a party.
Yeah, so so sometimes I'll do that, like say if I did a private joint, but I'm like, oh, this was a lot of bangers in it. Yeah. So then I'm working on just slimming it up, making crates. I have to use more smart crates. Yeah. You know, and then I've been using my comments a lot now. Okay. Like say in comments I might put West Coast. Okay. Or like something that sounds like this. Okay. I'll put it in there so then, because sometimes I'll forget about a song. You know.
See, now that we're opposite in. So my main library is organized by genre and by decade. So it'll be R&B and then 1990 through 1999. Okay. Right? And then bang, everything from that era goes there. Mm-hmm. Right? That's my main library. I have one big crate called the hit list. And under that I have sub crates that go within like, I would say regions. So I have like downtown. Okay. Right? Downtown New York City, my home. And then there I put in records that have worked for me throughout the year. Mm-hmm. So like, let's say whatever, when we were in the mumble rap era, all that Migos stuff, Made in Tokyo, all that stuff is there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I'll have, so anything from that like feel will go into that downtown crate. You know what I mean? Then I have house joints. Bang. So like any joints that work for me in Montauk, I'm putting them in there. You know what I mean? I like that. House joints. And that's always going to go into that folder. I like that. Into that crate. Always. Okay. It's never going to be like, oh, Montauk 23, Montauk 24. No, it's always going to be, because you never know when you got to whip out that throwback.
That is true.
You feel me? You never know when you're going to need that throwback. And it's just like, and that's why I also organize it by year. So all my songs are tagged with the year that they came out.
Oh, so and you can make a smart crate off of that.
Correct. I like that. So that's why I don't have 1,000,001 crates, because I just establish whatever that crate is, and I just throw everything into there, and I know like, okay, obviously I'm not gonna play a song from 1992 to these 25-year-olds. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah,
that's actually and crate management is a whole skill. Like it's like. Well, you have to get sometimes you have to reset.
I use it like a record crate. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, yeah, I'm more of a quality over quantity kind of guy.
Because you realize like some of these songs you're like, bro, I'm never gonna play this.
Right.
Never gonna play this. You know.
Right. That's why I'm like, I'll make a crate for a wedding. Mm-hmm. You know. But it's like if I don't hear anything that I've ever played, out of here. Yeah. You know what I mean? Delete it right after the wedding.
Yeah. No, that makes sense, because the chances of playing, and if you need it again, you can just download it.
No, if I need it again, I'll throw it into one of my already existing crates. Opening, downtown, whatever. Like I have an opening crate. Mm-hmm. That's all joints. Mm-hmm. And again, I keep that updated on the daily. Like, okay, well, Loyal's not working anymore. Opening crate.
Got it.
You know what I mean? Supposed to be. It's kind of old. It's kind of has no legs no more. Opening crate.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
I like that. So, you also, you're not in San Fran this weekend, but also, man, you got a Tokyo trip.
Yeah. Bro. No, actually, before Tokyo, we got a couple joints. So we're going back to upstate New York, Saratoga Springs. That's always fun. Belmont Racetrack, it's like right up the block. And then we have a wedding in Mexico. We're not too good for weddings. You feel me? Weddings are fun. You know. There's a little more of a personal connection when somebody trusts you so much for their big day. You know what I mean? And I hate when DJs are like, "Oh, I'm too good for weddings." Nah. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, like, all right.
Wedding DJs get paid.
Yeah, they get paid. You know what I mean? They get paid. I mean, I'm definitely not gonna DJ a wedding like a wedding DJ. Mm-hmm. I do it my way.
Yeah, and that's honestly.
But that's also why I'm getting hired.
That's a lot of couples. They like that. Not everyone, but like some of them, they like the club style. Yeah. Like know, it's like they're like, oh, I don't want the old same wedding cha-cha slide. Right. Like that. They want to be like, yo, I want people dancing. Yeah. So
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we have that. I have a wedding in Cancun I'm doing. And then we're back to Tokyo the first 2 weeks of September. Montauk a couple more times as well. We're doing Gurneys in Montauk in August. We're doing Bounce in Montauk in August as well. Shout out to my Bounce family. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And then when I get back, I'm going back to Indianapolis in October. And then my New Year's Eve is booked already. I actually have a wedding New Year's Eve. Yeah, which is
it's a good wedding.
It's cool.
It's a good wedding.
Again, I'm home by midnight.
100%. Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
that's not bad at all.
I don't got to deal with the cars. You know, the cops pulling people over.
No, you're straight.
So I'm great.
So since you've already been playing internationally, what would you give any advice to anybody that wants to play international gigs?
Do your homework. The beauty of social media is that it allows you to go anywhere in the world without leaving your home.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
I pay attention to, and I'm probably giving out gems here, but it's cool because we were family.
Easy. Easy.
But I pay attention to what even a promoter from a club song uses when they post stories on their flyer.
Yes.
When they
That's a big.
when they post a story, it could be a story of anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If they use a song and I'm like, oh, okay, they posted this song on the flyer. This is them subconsciously making a request to the DJ. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because people in other countries, they're not gonna stick their phone in your face. It's rude.
Yeah.
They have proper etiquette. They have education.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll subconsciously do things like, hey, Marty, you should hear this song.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like. I always go to Tokyo early because I want to hear what's being played.
Yeah.
From everything from the cars driving by to the dive bar, you know what I mean, to to Supreme, you know what I mean. Like I walk into Supreme just to hear what they're playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
And that gives you like a reference and like what's.
And you have so many tools. You got Shazam.
Yeah.
You got other You got a network of other DJs.
Yeah.
You know, it's just. These are things that I pay attention to. You know, I try not to. Now I don't really listen to albums anymore because it makes me biased. You know, like I'll be like. So to me, like my musical taste is my musical taste.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't want my musical taste to overcome and overtake your musical taste.
Got it.
Because I don't play for me, I play for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I keep saying, you know what I mean. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
Straight.
that's the reason why I don't listen to albums because, and I find myself doing this now. Like I'll listen to like an album from an artist that I really really love. Like Raúl Alejandro is probably my absolute favorite artist currently, and I find myself playing like album cuts. And I'm like disappointed at the crowd. I'm like, how do you not know this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like my fault
because
I'm forcing what I want to hear on them.
But at least you try. Like you break in a new record, things like that. Yeah. And then like so
sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like I broke Dos Catorce downtown. Like I was the first, and I'll stand on this 10 toes down. I was the first DJ downtown New York City to play Dos Catorce, which is like a very slow jam. It's not a reggaeton record. It's like a Spanish R&B record. It's 85 BPM. And Dos Catorce is Valentine's Day, February 14th. So it's like a very romantic song, but the women love it. They love it. It's almost like a Marvin's Room.
Like that.
You know what I mean?
Like that.
So it's like, when I broke that record at Lavo on a Friday.
Wow.
Yo, the crowd erupted. They sang it word for word. It's a very slow record. Every time I went out in New York after that, I heard the DJ playing that. I heard every DJ playing that record.
That's funny.
Every DJ, bro. And I've done that with a couple records downtown. You know, so
like your time, baby. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yo, bro.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, man. I mean, for years, they told me downtown I couldn't be what I am. You know, they told me I couldn't play Latin. I couldn't do this. It was all hip hop. The client wants this. The client wants that. You know, and then what happened? Latin music exploded.
Yeah, facts.
It exploded. And Latin people got money too. Hispanic people got money too.
100%.
So now these people wanted to tap into that Spanish money. They wanted that Latino bread, you know? They wanted those Latin mega artists at their club.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So what did they do? They reached out to the biggest Latin promoters in their area, which was 1990 Group. And then 1990 Group from Spain met Marty Rock from the Bronx. And what happened? Magic. Because now I grew up on this, bro.
Yeah.
I grew up on Playero. I grew up on Dinois. I grew up on Looney Tunes. I grew up on Sugar Hill Gang. I grew up on Nas. I grew up on My Beat. I grew up on Drake. I grew up on all that. I am New York, bro.
Yeah.
I am downtown. I am New York.
I love that.
You know what I mean? And I say that confidently because that's just what I am, bro. You know what I mean? Like that's who I am. I can never say I'm a Latin DJ. I can never say I'm a hip hop DJ. I can never say I'm a house DJ.
Bro.
I can never say I'm a salsa DJ. A bachata DJ. No,
You move, bro.
I know everything.
Even on your lives, like when you would do Instagram lives, bro, you would just be skating through genres. Like when I heard you play Majid Jordan, I was like, oh shoot, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm just a student of the game, man. Like I know what sounds good. And actually, Clutch put me onto Majid Jordan.
Really?
Yeah, and he like Clutch is like the GOAT when it comes to like those indie records, and you know he's so that's just what he listens to. He's just like an emo guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he just loves it. He loves that genre, and I love hearing him play it because you can hear the passion.
Yeah,
you can hear the passion in the set. You could tell that he just loves that. It's like you with a dance hall set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I see you. I see it. I see the passion for it just oozing out of you.
Yeah.
Like it oozes out of you.
Yeah, bro.
It really does. You could tell when it's me with reggaeton. When I'm playing
no.
reggaeton,
100%.
I love reggaeton.
Yeah, yeah.
I used to get made fun of when I was a kid for listening to reggaeton. They're like, yo, that's Matt Hick. Yeah, you know, like I wasn't really a Dipset guy, bro.
Yeah.
I wasn't like Max B. Like in that era, I was like Kimi Kenway, Daddy Yankee, the Maman. I wasn't really listening to Stack Bundles, you know, like, and I got made fun of for that.
And look at it now.
Yeah, look at it now.
Look at it now, bro.
Look at it now.
It's crazy.
I mean, I appreciate their music now and their catalogs. Rest in peace, all those guys that died. But that just wasn't my vibe at the time when it came out.
And then another DJ question I wanted to ask you was, say if you're playing in Texas, do you see do you prepare for like a Texas gig and the verse like doing a Tokyo gig, like you see what's going on in that area, like, you know, do you do your research of that, or do you just show up and just
it's pretty much all the same formula. Yeah. I mean, I'll reach out. I have a huge network. I'm blessed to have a huge network, you know, around the world now. Mm-hmm. But I had a huge network before I even traveled to Tokyo. Mm-hmm. I pretty much know DJs in every city, which I'm blessed to, you know, to be able to have that. And I'll tap in with a homie. You know?
That.
I'm like, yo, what's the biggest record in Fort Worth? What's the biggest record in Philly? What's the biggest record in LA?
Yeah.
What's the biggest record in Houston?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I'm very fortunate to have, again, that huge network. And a lot of people tap in with me when they come into New York. So, like,
that's great.
My network, you know, I also have that network feeding me their network.
Yeah.
Because they're like, yo, you going to New York? Oh, what's happening with Marty Rock? He knows all the best restaurants. He knows all the best clubs. He knows who can get you in where, you know? So that also grows my network, and it's just been an amazing thing to be a part of.
First time with Marty Rock, I realized, like, oh, wow. The doorman is what really... The doorman controls whether you coming in or not.
Oh, yeah.
Not even the promoter, is the doorman. So
Yep.
I was like, oh, wow, this is a different element.
Downtown New York City is a whole different animal.
Talk about it, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you being the mayor, maybe we can get some more turntables back in some of these spots. These big spots, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you have the plug, just be like, yo, man, I know you got them. That's because now with the invention of phase, you know, it doesn't matter if your tone arms are broken.
Yeah, it revived the turntable. You really just need a platter.
If this came out while turntables were still in clubs, or the Rain 12, bro, there would still be a turntable.
Well, I feel like there's more. The Rain 12 was a little wacky.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, where you didn't need a needle.
Correct.
Yeah. So whatever, if this or that came out, I feel like it would still be. Cause remember the setup was turntables on the bottom, CDJs on top.
Right.
You know. So, right. But
I mean, but if it's a real venue, and again, no offense to any venues out there, if it's a real venue, they 9 times out of 10 they do rider support, tech support for big acts. Yeah. Some of these big acts still play vinyl, you know, like a lot of these house DJs still play. Carl Cox still plays vinyl. Mm-hmm. DJ Sneak plays vinyl, you know. So Snake plays on vinyl, so they'll have turntables. I remember Steve Aoki used to play on vinyl.
I remember.
He used to be on Serato Scratch.
I remember.
He was on Serato for a minute. Yeah. Even when he was in the EDM scene.
I remember, because I remember watching videos of him and DJ Am.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, so that's... it's funny. So now, where do we want to see? What's the trajectory where we see Marty Rock going? Like, what is your ultimate goal? It could be a small 5-year goal, but where do we see, or where would you like to be?
I mean, I would love to continue to put on for New York.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to be, I would love to be the biggest DJ in my city, which I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to, those that are. Mm-hmm. Shortcuts, Rick Wonder, Big Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all my OGs.
Mm-hmm.
PS1, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to be, the guy in New York. And just continue to, give New York a good reputation for good DJs. Play different cities, play more countries. I would love to play Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm good on Australia.
that flight?
No, not the flight, but them spiders is a little crazy.
Spiders are huge, right?
And I just want to continue to create more memories for people and provide for my family. That's it.
I love that.
That's it.
I love that.
I don't really care to be the guy on a Vegas billboard.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the DJs they have in Vegas do a great job. I mean, would I go to Vegas? Absolutely, but is it on my hit list? Not really. Because I don't want to try to fit in where I'm not wanted.
Got it.
I'm kind of tired of doing that.
Yeah.
Like I'm like mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausted of trying to I guess change myself for others to accept me, because Chachi, who owns 4am, he's a very good friend of mine, and he's kind of seen me in my darkest times, and he goes, what you need to do? You need to love yourself.
Oh.
And for years, I didn't love myself because I cared about what other people thought about me. So now I'm just trying to love myself.
I love that.
Yeah. So it's like, if you don't like me, okay.
Okay.
I'm not for you, and that's okay.
Bro, literally, that's how I think about
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying? Like, not every client is for you.
Right.
Sometimes a client would be like, oh, I don't like his beard. So I'm like, that's okay. Bro, that's not the client for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's...
I mean, bro, I had a wedding client that was like, oh, he looks a little gangster on his flyers. And it's like, I hate pictures. And that's just gonna, I don't care what pose I'm in or what outfit I'm in, I hate pictures, but it's something that I have to do, and I probably should update my promo pictures, but the client was like, he looks a little gangster. And we had I guess a Google Meet, and they met me and just completely fell in love with me, so it's like, I may look a little intimidating, but I have the biggest heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the utmost respect for your party, your venue, and your brand.
Yeah.
So like, a million times I'll have a bride tell me, oh, you can play curses, or you can play Sexy Red, you can play the derogatory stuff. But if your grandmother's in that crowd, I'm not playing that.
No.
I'm sorry, I'm not playing that.
Yeah, if grandma leaves, exactly.
Yeah, respectfully.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the same thing with, I'll have an early gig in the city, and there'll be people with their family sitting down. Yeah, I'm not playing Sexy Red. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's your birthday, and I know that you're spending mad money.
Yeah.
But I have integrity.
Read in the room.
Yeah. Exactly.
Lastly, where can the people find you? Your socials.
I'm outside, man.
Easy.
At Marty Rock on Instagram. That's my favorite platform right now. I love Instagram. Please. No TikTok. Facebook, Marty Rock as well. Mixcloud, SoundCloud predominantly because Mixcloud kind of got me tight. But please feel free to DM. You want to come party? I have really bad resting bitch face, but I promise you I'm a nice guy.
Super fact though.
But come, if you want to come out, but please be reasonable. I can't get in 15 guys at no minimum. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Let's be a little realistic, especially if we're at like a high end spot. But I have no problem. New DJs, come say what's up. Yep. I'm an open book. And again, Julz, thank you so much. Like, real talk, I'm honored, bro. I'm so proud of
you.
You're creating your own lane. Now it's time for me to give you your flowers, bro. You're creating your own lane. I'm sorry I couldn't do your wedding again. Mans was in Tokyo. But my brother, I love you. I love the work that God is doing through you. in the DJ community. We need more people like you with nothing but great intentions, and you know, you literally open the doors to your house, to us. You know, your family's here, your wife is here, your mother's here, and thank you. Real talk. Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
I need people like you in my life, and so does everybody else.
Yo, thank you. You heard it behind the booth. Marty Rock's in the building. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and yo, see you on the next one.
My brother. Peace.